Hello and welcome back to Xpwaste, where we play a game where you fire literal cannonballs at things, and people think it's okay. I'm Michael.
And I am Oxie. If you're new around here, hello, welcome. We're going to be kind of distracted because we're in the middle of a bingo, and our clan has been popping off all week, getting awesome drops. But if you can hang on while we hang on, we're a podcast that talks about old school RuneScape, like 92% of the time. Otherwise, we get distracted and talk about things that aren't old school. We also tend to go off on tangents about what we're talking about related to old school RuneScape. If you're not new around here, don't plan a bingo. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. You're going to be tired and you're just going to want to play the event. You're going to have to do a bunch of things that are not play the event. Is it worth it? Yes. 100,000% worth it. But good God, I am sleepy. Michael, welcome back.
I'm back. Thank you. It's been too long. I think that like 3 weeks a year is all I ever want to be away from the show. I mean, I could have brought, recording stuff to Connecticut where we were, but we were flying there. So it was a little bit different than the last time I was out of town staying at my wife's sister's house, and I could bring recording equipment, but yeah, I'm back. It feels good. We're back into it. Thank you so much, Oxie, for doing those 3 weeks. Did a great job. Yeah,
that's
the commercials
were great. Don't plan a bingo while your co-host is gone, and say, "I'm just going to make new commercials this week."
Yeah.
Again, worth it because I enjoyed the death commercial quite a bit, but holy, it was a lot to do the commercials.
The death commercial
and all that.
Was great.
So it was worth it. 100% worth it. Just I'm tired. I just want to play RuneScape, man. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to play RuneScape.
Well, after we're done here, all you get to do is play RuneScape because I'm editing this week. So
damn, I was tactical, baby. It was all tactical.
It's like, let's plan bingo on the week that I'm not editing the podcast.
Well, we were actually discussing that in the team chat when we first started because like half my team took the week off. They're either took it off for bingo or they're like employed but in between job sites for what they do.
Gotcha.
And they're just like, oh yeah, my girlfriend's out of town, my fiance's out of town, whatever it is. So like 6 or 7 team members are gaming this week. And I said, like, I still have to go to work, unfortunately, because I just got a new job. And like, I wasn't going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm taking this week off to play RuneScape. Happy less than a month anniversary of me being at this place. So I have to work, but I don't have to edit this week, and that was it's tactical on my end that we that I get the week off to just like the nights I come home from work, do Inferno, do bingo tiles, because that's kind of where I'm at right now with my team.
Nice.
Is do Inferno, do bingo tiles. So
so you're back in the Inferno?
I am, yeah. I've sent runs here and there. I mean, it's been a struggle to even find time to get in because editing, commercials, working, like I'm at home. It's nice to be working, like actually do something with the degree that I spent so much time and money to get. But at the same time, it really cuts into my gains, man. This whole, being a responsible adult thing. It's kind of bullshit, I'm being honest. Yeah. But nope, I think I'm going to go back to the one run a day for a while because I messed up a lot and still made it to wave 60. So like, wow, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like if I get a really good run and I don't screw anything up, we're cheering. Like any run I have to assume I'm getting to suck. So I don't know, that's where I'm at with attempts. Hopefully I get one this week because we have both the Desire tile and the Grandmaster tile, and I feel like that would be just we were talking about it last night, that if this is the cape this week, that's the momentum my team is going to need to win the event. Like, you guys are screwed. If I get the cape, you guys are screwed.
So we can't let Oxie get his cape this week.
We'll see.
I'm actually rooting for you. I don't know. I felt a little bad in our Xpwaste patrons chat when I was like, at this rate, I'll get my max cape before Oxie actually gets his Infernal cape. But
and you know what? The reality is you might.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who I was having this discussion with the other day, but like yours has always had a definite timer. Like you are going to max by a certain date. If you
Right.
calculate out the time and commit, you've already set the date for like March of 23, but you and I both know you could max by December.
Yeah.
If you
yeah,
really
that's,
wanted to.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah. So even the time frame has been moved up because it's guarantee click get number, which is not to downplay the effect of getting a max cape, right? Like there's a reason you're going to be, you know, millions and millions of people haven't maxed, right? It's a insurmountable achievement that most people probably listening to the show are not going to do. The difference is that it's trackable and there's a guaranteed end date. I had one of my friends ask me the other day, so when do you think you'll get your Infernal Cape? I'm considering a Christmas gift. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I wish I did, but I don't. It could be tomorrow because I'm probably just going to watch House of the Dragon after this. I'm probably not going to do the Inferno. It could be tomorrow after work. It could be on December 31st. I have no idea. I want to get it this year. I really do, but all just depends. I also realized, like, someone was telling me the other day that, like, normally when people go for their cape, they lock themselves to the content. And they don't do anything else, which I was not aware of. I would be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing Inferno, but, like, I messed up my last 5 runs. You know, I'm just going to go, you know, do skilling or do Slayer tasks or do, you know, achievement diary things, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have done a lot of other stuff in between runs, and I think that has kind of hindered it a little bit. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you do get your max cape before I get my Infernal cape, I'm not going to be upset about it because it's not going to take away the effect of getting a fucking Infernal cape for me. Yeah. So go ahead and get it before me if it comes down to that. I'm not going to be like, damn it, Michael, wait. I would think it would be cool if we could get 99 Slayer at the same time.
Okay.
Because I think
what's your Slayer level right now?
97 with 898k to go.
Bro, I'm 97 with 818k to go.
Exactly. So we're like, especially this week with Bingo, you and I could feasibly get 99 Slayer together and have a double 99 party.
That'd be so cool, actually. Because like, if you're behind a little bit, I can wait and go train thieving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's nothing stopping me, and
vice versa. Like I know I PVM more than you do. Like I will also wait to do Slayer. So like I'm not super fussed about it either way. But like, I'm not gonna fucking max with you. Go ahead and max, but if you max before I get my Infernal Cape, I will not be upset.
Now, what I could do to upset you is get my Max Cape and my Infernal Cape before you get your Infernal Cape. But that would take an act of God.
If you get your Infernal Cape legitimately before I get my own, I have done something horribly wrong. I have probably stopped playing old school RuneScape at that point.
I'm telling you, it would take an act of God to max and get my Infernal Cape, which I have not physically. No, I've physically been in the Inferno, but I have not.
He did. He made it to wave 20 something. He made it to Rangers.
Yeah.
So
I could do it. It would probably take me realistically. Okay, so I max like end of November. I would have to take 2 to 3 weeks off of work. Tell my wife I am not leaving this room until I get my Infernal Cape, and I could do it. But that, like, again, I don't think that's a possibility in my life right now. So you have nothing to worry about.
I mean, yes, that's not feasible. Don't do that. That's a bad choice. I also don't think that at the moment, right? Here's the therapy constructive criticism coming in, right? The mindset has to be worked on. I've seen you do Corrupted Gauntlet, which is arguably difficult content. And then when the repetitive failures come in, you're like, this sucks, I'm going to leave after 4 hunt lifts. Right. Imagine after like 4 hours of attempts and you don't get what you're looking for. It's extremely disheartening. So if you're going to get your Infernal Cape, you'll learn the mechanics. You'll learn the safe spots. You'll learn the movement, the flicking, all that. You got to work on the mindset. Whatever. We go again. You got to get better at that we go again mindset, because I have faltered with it a lot. That's why I'm still wearing a goddamn fire cape everywhere. But that's something and not just for you, like anyone, if you really want to work on it, just, you're going to fuck it up. Just keep doing it, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
So
I agree with that. You're not saying anything that I haven't already identified within myself.
In RuneScape specifically, you learn it through other pieces of content. You learn it through Corrupted Gauntlet. You learn it through Tob. You learn it through Fazani's Nightmare. Your first Fire Cape. Your first Zalra. Like these repetitive failures aren't. There's like the Inferno is not the first time you experience it. You just have to do it a lot with everything else, and then by the time you get there, you've seen that song and dance before. Now you just have to do it.
I think realistically, I could probably try and get my Infernal Cape next year. Sending those runs, practicing doing it. I won't have really anything else to do besides the XP goals that I've set for myself.
200 mil cooking, boys.
But that's not a hard goal. That's like 200 mil cooking or nothing else. That's like, I want to get that. I'm still going to play the game. If it doesn't happen within the next year or two, it's still going to happen.
It's unrealistic to get it within the next year or two, though.
200 mil cooking?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not unrealistic.
You're going to get 180 mil. No, it's possible mathematically.
Yeah.
With a kid, a podcast, and a community of like 1,000 people who want to hang out with you, you're only going to cook.
The podcast is the perfect time to cook, realistically.
But you only do that for a couple of hours a week. Even if editing every other, you get like 12 hours a week every other week.
TV, iPad AFK stuff. So
it just feels like.
Well, the problem is like I haven't even gotten 180 mil XP in a single skill. Like I guess I'm at 337 mil total, but that's over nearly 6,000 hours on my account
and 23 skills.
And 23 skills, yes. So I don't know. I've never gone for a 200 mil, so I don't know what to expect other than cook fish. Repeatedly.
I mean, funny enough, you can cook fish at the Moral Wreck Bank. So you could lock yourself to the Inferno Bank and cook in between runs. You can do it.
That's a very real possibility. I'm never leaving Moral Wreck until I get my Infernal Cape. But I could still cook there. So, yes. So, I guess we totally breezed over like account updates. I would love to give an account update since I haven't been here in 3 weeks.
Go ahead. Give us an account update.
Yeah. So, currently sitting at 2269 total. Nice. Working on Slayer. We talked about that just a little bit. But the time that I was away from the last episode to this episode, I did 99 Hunter. So, 92 to 99 Hunter took me 17 days, which is a vast improvement on the agility grind that I just finished. I had the wherewithal this time to put a start time and an end time so I could actually figure out how many hours it took, and it took 72 hours from 92 to 99. So roughly 6.5, 7 mil XP-ish took 72 hours, which comes out to around 110k XP per hour, which is great. I did most of it on mobile. Hespori on mobile is amazing.
Herbivore?
You guys are... What's that?
Herbivore or Hespori?
Why do I keep saying Hespori? That's the second time I've done that. I'm so sorry. Guys, you didn't hear the first time I ever said that because I edited it out, but I'm not editing this one out. Herbivore on mobile is amazing. Why do I keep saying Hespori? Yes, Herbivore all the way. I did 4,300 Herbivore KC. You don't really kill it, so like I don't know what they call it, harvest count. So your HC, and I got the pet too. So
that was hype as shit when you got the pet.
I was not expecting.
I think I was online for that. That was hype.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. Like we were just watching TV at my sister-in-law's house, and I look down and like I see the collection log notification. I go, I got the pet. I got the pet. My wife's like, yes. So it was pretty hype. But I did that at like 2,400, so about halfway through the entire grind, which was amazing. So now when I go back for my Hunter XP post max, I'll probably go to Chins. I don't know. The Chin pet is cute. Don't get me wrong. I don't care for it. Like it's cute. It would be cool to have the little Pikachu, but like I hate catching Chins.
Aren't there only like 200 golden Chins in the entire game?
What? I didn't know that.
Escape was telling me that a while ago that like,
wow,
if you want to get really nitty gritty with it, the golden Chin Champa is the rarest pet or rarest pet transmog in the game because there are just so few of them.
Huh.
Because it's random every time you switch it.
Yes, it's like
So,
1 in
like-
10K to actually get it to be golden every time
Yeah.
you switch it.
It's wild.
People sit there for hours and just transmog and switch and switch and switch. So like if you didn't want to take the time to do that, then that's why there's so few. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of the Chin pets in the game are from bots. Chin bots are
100%.
a majority of those pets. So how many people have it legitimately? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like the people who have it legitimately probably are the ones who make up a majority of those golden chins. So why would you waste your time on a bot account to get the golden chin?
I was watching. Oh, I imagine they're all real accounts, right? I was watching an Andrew AJT video like 2 years ago, and I think he brought up a really good point of like the golden chin is really cool, but you can just never change it because like you're never gonna get it back at that point,
Right.
like you are physically never going to be able to get that golden chin again. So you pretty much have to make a choice of like, do I want to be able to switch this around and like match it with other fashionscapes or match it
Yeah.
with other pets or like match it with other people's Chinchompas, or do I want to camp a golden Chinchompa forever? Yeah, I don't know. So it's just it's a question that you have to ask yourself. And I have no interest in getting the Chin pet. If I get it, it will be on accident. And if I have to go back to Chins, I don't know why I would have to go back to Chins. Like I'm more likely to get it in leagues than I am.
That's true.
In the main game, because
Yeah.
like I
was gonna ask, like, accidentally, are you just gonna like accidentally click a bot trap that you accidentally had in your inventory, accidentally near a Chinchompa?
I'm more likely to get it on Oxie fans than anything.
Oh,
the group
right.
Iron Man.
That's true.
I'm more likely to get it getting Chins to inevitably do content on the GIM. Not that I play the GIM enough to be able to go to like Armadillo.
Yeah.
But, it's like that is a possibility. As far as I don't think I'll ever do anything but Herbivore again. Herbivore and birdhouses, that's going to be
gosh, dude.
for me. Literally, I don't care. If I don't have to go back to Chins, I'm not going back to Chins.
Well,
I'm sorry. It's not happening.
That's the reason you didn't want to do Hunter in the first place, was because you
Chins
hated
are
training
so
Chins.
boring. I hated training with Chins. And I really like Herbivore. I haven't done it because, I haven't had stamina pots. That's literally been the reason I've not done it. It's because I don't have stams. Yeah. But
Oh, you want to hear a sad story? A very sad story. I had a ring of endurance for the entire time I did rune crafting, and then I was like, I'm just going to sell it after I do Herbivore.
Mm-hmm.
I had over 500 charges on the ring, and I uncharged it, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna get these stamina potions back. You don't. It's one of the very few items in the game that you just lose your charges. It's insane. 500
that's a couple
charges,
mil.
dude.
Because it's a charge per dose, right?
It's per dose. So it's 500 doses of stamina just gone. And
that's 120 something stams. That's a lot of money.
The kicker is I was like 100k XP from 99, and I had like ran out of charges. Or so the stamina effect is only if you have 500 or more. And I was 100k away from 99. And I went just below 500. So I was like at 495. And I'm like, I'll put a couple hundred charges in there, and then I'll just take them back out after 99. So I had just put in 200 more charges into the ring just to then uncharge it and lose it. And I honestly, I could have kept the ring. Like, there's nothing, I didn't need 30 mil. So, don't lose your charges like me. Do better.
Yeah, don't do
That's
that.
all I'm saying. But yeah, I got 99 Hunter. It was amazing. I'm on Slayer now. Slayer is god awful slow. I mean, compared to Hunter, this is like walking to work when you had been used to like bullet training to work. This is so slow. I'm getting, on average, I'm probably only getting like maybe 20 or 30k per hour, maybe even less.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's going to be a couple weeks, boys. It's going to be a couple weeks. And it's only 2 levels, mind you. 2 levels. So just over 2 million XP. Whereas I could have gotten that in like a week, maybe less with Herbivore, which I did at many points in time. I got like, what is it? 92. So that's 8. I got 8 levels in 17 days. So anyway, that's my account progress. Not much else has happened. Bingo is currently hype. We're only a day into it as of the day of recording, but like as this podcast comes out, you guys know it's a couple days after. So we'll be almost done with the first week. So
yeah.
What are your predictions for the first week? If any?
I think the oxymorons are going to pull a staggering lead, and you guys are going to be so screwed that there's no hope of even competing, and we're going to take first, and we're going to keep Mimi and having a great time. That's my prediction, anyways. I think people are so pissed about the VM tile.
Yes. Yeah.
I was in tears laughing.
Good. It's
in
hilarious.
Tears laughing when all those downvotes came in. Oh my god, I was dead. I was crying in my team chat. It was so funny. But no, I think it's gonna go well. People are gonna stay active. People are gonna keep playing, gaming, obviously. But I think people are really gonna like the Thursday tile. I don't have the Friday tile pulled up. Saturday tile is gonna be the best one. Like there's no doubt in my mind the Saturday tile it's going to light a fire and it's going to get people excited, and not in the way that the volcanic mine got people riled up. Like, yeah, people are DMing me. Young Mac DM'd me and said this VM shit ain't too bad. I'm like, all right, see, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But
funny enough, he's using me as his code word holder. Like, I want to do the toxic thing where you just spam out their chat and it goes away, but he messaged me cough 22 VM, so I was like, I'll let it slide. It's on my screen too, so like you're helping me.
Sorry for that minor technical difficulty screen there. I was just informed by the people helping us create the King of the Hill spreadsheet that Wise Old Man is not doing the one thing that it's supposed to do, which is update scores. So can't wait to figure that out, or input 200 God Wars dungeon KCs manually for all 4 bosses. Plan a bingo, they said. Anyways, my account progress has also been going pretty decent. I got two 99s myself. I got 99 farming and 99 cooking.
I don't think I was there for either of those.
You weren't. No, you were. What? Again, you were out of town. So I did 99 farming, and I'm still kind of vainly racing TMD for total levels. So I invited him to the farming guild. I said, yo, I need you to meet me at the farming guild for a second. He's like, Oxie, what did you do? So he shows up to the farming guild, and I pop the 99 in front of him. I'm like, check my total level, bitch. And I'm ahead of him. And then later, when I got 99 cooking, I was making wines all day, and I was just in the VC with my team, like the day before, doing whatever. And I saw that other people were in their team chats. And as I was making wine, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have fun with this. So I went to Jamie's POH while she was in VC with her team. And I just sat inside her house and waited. And she's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, no, just hanging out. I forgot a jug of water to make the wine. So I just had to sit there, and I had to have Troll bring me a jug of water. And she's like, are you here for a 99 party? I'm like, no, what? Why would I ever have a 99 party in your house? I said, unrelated note, can you meet me outside for a second? Just typing this in game. And walked outside. I traded Troll, and I said, all right, everyone, thank you for coming. And there's a couple people from my team outside the Remington house portal, and I got 99 outside the house. So that's kind of my goal, is just get really weird 99s.
That's adorable.
In the strangest ways possible. Making a little bit of money, otherwise having a lot of fun doing bingo. Still don't have an Infernal Cape. I don't know what else I've done on the account, but I'm excited for things I might be able to do on the account once some of these things that we're going to talk about today go through, hopefully.
Oh yeah, that's a good, not as buttery smooth as we've been in the past, but that's a good transition into what we are talking about today, which is strangely enough, some of the updates that have happened or will happen. So, some of the stuff they posted on the homepage, oldschool.runescape.com. So 2 of the main ones that we wanted to bring up today and talk to you guys about are going to be, what they proposed in poll 77. So another quality of life poll, which is live in game right now. So if you haven't gone and voted, if it's still live, make sure you go and do that. And the combat achievements expansion, which I am less excited about, but some of these changes make me a little more excited about it. So we'll get into that. But did you want to start us off with the quality of life changes?
Sure. I mean, the first thing they really talk about is how poll 76 shit the bed, pretty much. They offered a lot and they delivered the bare minimum over the last like 9 months from that poll of what passed. But they owned up to it. They're like, hey, we kind of screwed up. We're going to do better. Expect more frequent but smaller quality of life updates going forward, pretty much. They're going to be theming them around different sections of the game. So instead of just like blanket doing a bunch of stuff like they did in poll 76, which like half of it shouldn't have been polled anyway, just integrity change, just nobody, whatever. No, they're gonna like theme it around things. So maybe they'll do like a combat QOL, not an evolution. All right, chill out. But like, you know, maybe they'll do like a raids quality of life where because I know one time they did that for like chambers. Maybe they'll do a Slayer boss quality of life. Maybe they'll do a skilling quality of life where they go through and like rework various skilling things, not skilling mini games. Maybe they will do a skilling mini games one. But the idea is all the future QOL polls will be themed, which is pretty neat. And they start off strong by saying, should we just change the elite diary requirement for the Lumbridge and Draenor elite diary task?
For the combat one, or sorry, the Questcape one. Yeah.
I
think it's a great idea because, like, when that first came out, it was somewhat of okay. Questcape is an achievement, but the barrier of entry back when that achievement diary step was released to now is massive. But yeah, I mean, all that being said, I like what they've proposed, and they've actually gone back and changed again what they've said. I don't know if you've read that update, but right now, as it stands in the poll, the question is, should we just cap it at 290? So however many quests come out in the future, should we just make the diary step obtain 290 quest points? Which I think is amazing. Because in the future, when there's, say, I don't know, 350, 400 quest points, potentially, getting the 290 that you need will look different for a lot of people. And maybe you don't have to go and do the ultra grandmaster quests just to get your diary step.
Yeah, and the way they originally formatted it, 99% of quest points, that doesn't do anything. Because even when we have 350 quest points, 99% of 350, and relax, Xpwasters, I'm using a calculator, is 346.5. So it's the quest cape minus like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
And then you can do it. Like, even when you get to 500, it's not that substantial. It's only 5 quest points off. So until we get to the like 10,000 quest point realm, which if we ever get to 10,000 quest points, they got to look into some shit and rework some shit if that's the case. But like, you're not going to notice that substantial of a difference. I'm sorry. You're not going to notice a difference.
It was a nice proposal. Like, they're still trying to make it hard, but also still trying to make it obtainable. But again, and if it's 99%, just keep it at get the quest cape. Not, that 1% of points is not going to make a difference at that point, and it's not a quality of life update like they think it would be. It wouldn't fall under quality of life. Quality of life is capping it like they are doing now, capping it at 290, and then letting you choose what 290 you get. I got that step done when there was like maybe 200 quest points, 250. I can't remember. It was not that many. I think I maybe had to do Dragon Slayer 2, and that was it.
But that's the thing about the quest cape in general, is like, it is an achievement. It is no small feat. We shout it out every week for a reason, right?
Yeah.
The quest cape boils down to Song of the Elves, Dragon Slayer 2, and Monkey Madness 2. Sure, you can put a Kingdom Divided, A Night at the Theater, Sins of the Father, Recipe for Disaster. You can put stuff like that in there. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the Grandmaster quests that require a lot of time spent and a lot of money spent grinding skills, right? nobody ever is brick-walled by Observatory Quest or Monk's Friend or
Right.
Goblin Diplomacy to get their Quest Cape, right? Quest
Right.
Cape is a lot of filler, but it is capped off with extreme achievements on either side, like just of getting these Grandmaster quests done. So I'm a little disappointed, not because it was harder for me. You guys know I don't play like that. A little disappointed that down the line, people are going to eventually skip out on the quest cape entirely. People are going to just not do things because
Oh.
I don't like doing quests.
That's true. I
People
didn't-
they're gonna skip out on the experiences of doing the quest. They're going to miss the story, miss the rewards, miss all the quality of life that come from doing the quest because I didn't like doing quests a year ago, so now I don't like it now. People are gonna miss that to get this Elite Diary step done, which is disappointing. They're also not going to get their trimmed diary cape, so I think you have to have a quest cape in order to get it trimmed. But I'm not 100% sure. So that's my only disappointment. I'm not virulently opposed to this, so sure, I'll vote yes. I have my diary cape. I don't care.
Right.
But
it's not, the question's not for us.
and
It's
like
for our future accounts, maybe. Like, I would love to get my achievement diary keep.
well, I mean,
the group
it's hard to
Iron Man
teach an old dog new tricks. If you tell me, oh, we've capped it at 290 and there's 292 quest points by the time my group Iron Man is ready, I'm just going to get my quest cape.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I don't
It's
know.
not, yeah. This is more for a conversation of what do we want it to be? Is this sustainable for the next 5 years, 5-10 years? If the game lasts that long? No. Because again, like I said, the barrier of entry, when the achievement diaries came out, it was very obtainable. The Elite Lumbridge diary is huge. So it makes it more accessible for people. I'm happy.
But like, also, suck it up and do your quests.
That's true.
I
too.
made my teammates do quests. I had multiple teammates who didn't have piety going into bingo, and they're like, I don't want to do one small favor. I said, I don't care. You're getting piety. You're stopping what you're doing and you're getting piety right now. I have players on my team who don't have their major arena capes. I said, come Monday night when the peak hairs are gone, going in the wilderness and we're getting you your goddamn major arena cape. Because I don't do not having necessary untradables on your team. And I got a lot of my teammates in the recording booth chat right now who are sweating because they know I'm talking about them.
Yep. Yep.
So like we're fixing that real quick. But yeah, I don't know. Just get your quest cape. It's not a problem. I get why they're doing it. I'm not mad at it. But also, I'm gonna vote yes for it. I'm not a piece of shit. But
I guess that brings up a good question then. Are there any of these that you would vote no to? Because I think that's the more interesting conversation.
You have known me for a long time.
Yeah.
You have known my stance on a lot of the things in this game for a long time. Have you ever known me to say, wow, this poll X number is stupid? Thank God they're polling this. What?
No. No, you're not going to vote no.
Like, some things here, like question number 10. Should we remove the random cycle delay when mining ores? And pretty much, some ores have random cycle delays. That's a tick delay. In the bowl, it says, the problem is that it isn't reflected for all mineable minerables. We want to make things more consistent by removing the delay altogether, with the notable exceptions of iron, granite, and sandstone, which are the fastest XP in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've run some tests and we're certain it wouldn't affect the best in slot experience too much, but it would bring a lot more consistency to the skill. Okay, making literally the shittiest skill in the game a little bit more consistent and feasible. Why would I vote no for that? Right. Question 11, only iron players. Question 13, only UIMs. Right. It's like, should we allow people to store things in the player-owned house? Should we allow... This one's interesting, at least. The special attack orb in the wilderness.
That one is pretty... Because I thought, hey, whenever you go into the wilderness and you want to use a special attack, it's like, no, you have to use it from the bar. And it just adds a level of, fairness across the board. Because people have learned for so long to go to your combat options menu and hit the special attack orb. Makes it easier now that you have the special attack orb there. their little blurb about how, OG players will continue to use the old method. Maybe.
So why you do that, right? When you spec so go into your inventory right now, put an item in the second from the bottom row. So like not quite at the bottom of your inventory, but like one row up from that. Now with your mouse hovered over that item, use the F key to swap to your special attack.
It's right there.
It's right there. So if you keep a DDS, a Gmaul, an AGS right there, you can click, 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 boom, really quick 3 times in 1 second. And your next attack is way faster than clicking on the item, hovering up to click on the special attack, and coming back down. You play on fixed expanded mode. It'll take you longer to click on the orb than it will for you to use your F keys and click back and forth. So the people who are going to use this to kill you are not going to use the orb to kill you. They're going to use the special attack bar.
That's true.
Because it's just so much quicker to use. But, when it comes to PVM, it'll be nice. Especially since they're adding all the new Revenant weapons that are going to have special attacks and that are going to be beneficial to use in PVM situations. So, like, cool. That's cool. You're changing it. It's not, I don't think it's going to affect too much in PvP. Someone might get lucky, fighting back, but isn't that the whole point? I don't know.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's more geared towards PVMers in the wilderness because we're so used to, as a PVMer, just using the special attack orb. I almost never go into my actual combat options and press the option there. It's always the orb. So it always throws me off too when I'm in the wilderness or I'm in LMS and they're like, you can't use that. I'm like, please. But I understood the reason why. I just wanted to make things more fair for everyone. But I think actually, no, yeah, you're right. People will still continue to use the option with F keys. If you're faster one way, it's not going to make any sense to do the orb. There is one quality of life on the entire list that I think needed to happen a long time ago.
I knew you were so excited about this. Michael took a screenshot of the poll and in all caps to the general chat was like, integrity change, integrity change, integrity change. He's so excited about this next question. I already know which one it is.
Removing the damn trees from the fairy ring next to the Tower of Life. Those trees, man, have plagued the Iron Man community for decades, and they're finally going to be removing them if it passes the poll, but I think it will.
If you downvote this, you're a monster.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I know.
Monster.
This whole. You know how I feel about these quality of life polls, Michael.
They should have just done it.
I get it.
Just moved
I get why they do it. But like, God. Yeah. Who is going to vote no for these things?
So
I'm going to do my due diligence and vote yes right now, just to be sure that we have it.
In this conversation, I couldn't see any of these not passing, and I actually just scrolled up a little bit from the one that we're talking about. So they want to pull the ability to repair your rune pouches within the Guardians of the Rift lobby instead of having to use NPC contact. And they wanted the ability and you'll have to use pearls to do it. And I think this one is pretty controversial with people. At least it's been discussed in the top part where they say this is the player feedback and this is what we're doing about it. But I wanted to get your thoughts on it. I have some thoughts. I mean, NPC contact was a thing that I pushed for on my account before I started training runecrafting on my group Ironman. And it is quite the grind. I mean, you definitely can't do it as... I think there's combat involved. So, like, it's going to be very hard to do as a skiller. Yeah. So, like, the two main ones are, one, the ability to even get pouches as a skiller, and if you manage to do them as a skiller, how you're going to repair them. So they wanted to add the ability to get pouches and then give those skillers the ability to repair them without NPC contact, which I see where they're going with it. But a lot of people were just like, why don't you just give it a set number of pearls and then you can do it forever without having to, spend a pearl each time? Because I'm all for like permanent unlocks. If they said, you spend a pearl every time or you give us 500 pearls and you can have it forever, I'd be like, I'll save up 500 pearls. Even though maybe in the long run, I'm never even going to spend 500. It's nice having that permanent unlock, because maybe one day you've got your entire outfit and you're not going back to Guardians of the Rift, but you're doing other methods that have a pouch. Well, it might be nice to go back to that lobby and repair them without needing to actually, like upkeep your pearl stack.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be one that I wait to see if they have any, different feedback from the community on before I vote. But I'd be all for adding those types of things to the skilling methods. It'd be like saying there's a efficient way to train fire making, but you can't use it as a skiller. You have to do combat. And then it makes Wintertodt more, then it makes Wintertodt more enjoyable. Well, that just seems backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two that I think are a little controversial.
I mean, again, do you want my input? Update rune crafting. What's the worst thing that happens? People like rune crafting more? I don't know. This is where things like this fall for me.
Yeah.
Is sometimes you have to ask yourself, is it okay that somebody else has it easier or somebody else has it different? Is it okay with me that somebody else who came after me is going to have an easier time completing this thing? If the answer is yes, who gives a shit? Let the quality of life pass, right? If the answer is no, ask yourself why. Why is it not okay? What about someone else having to do it easier brings that pain in of like, I had to do this harder? Does that mean what I have done is now no longer worth it? And that's not true. If you got your first fire cape in 2005 with a magic short bow, you were balling. That was the Infernal Cape back in the day, literally. But if you carry that mindset forward to, well, I had to get my first fire cape with a magic short bow. What is this toxic blowpipe they want to add? How is that possibly fair, right? That doesn't make the fire cape that you got with that magic short bow in 2005 any less valuable. It doesn't make you any less skilled of a player. And it doesn't, it's so hard to express that, like, it doesn't devalue an achievement, because achievements in a lot of ways are subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Me getting an Infernal Cape is going to be the end of the world, right? For Jesse getting an Infernal Cape, it's another Tuesday, right? Nobody cares, right? Achievements are subjective. It's hard to tell someone it doesn't, like, no, it definitely doesn't devalue your achievement, because you can't control that for them. You don't get to determine whether or not it devalues your achievement. If you're in that headspace, though, of it was really hard for me and it kind of makes me upset that it's going to be really easy for somebody else, it's going to be okay. It doesn't make what you did any less important or less difficult that you paved the way for someone else to do it easier, right? The old phrase, I walk so so-and-so can run, right? That's the point with this. NPC contact is still faster, right? Most of you doing Guardians of the Rift already have NPC contact because you know it's faster for rune pouches, right? And, you know, when it comes to the point of, like, I'm really trying to progress my account, most people who aren't skillers are going to have that done. You don't go for your achievement diary cape before you go for your quest cape. You don't go for your max cape before you go for your quest cape. Come on now. Like, you're going to eventually have these things done. Frenetic Exiles, if you're an Iron Man, is necessary to do to get your Basilisk Jaw. That requires Lunar Diplomacy. which will give you NPC contact, the faster method to do it, right? If you're a main account, mate, come on now. Just do your quests. Like, I don't know. It's a really hard spot when things are controversial for the reason of it's easier now than it was.
Yeah.
I don't love that argument personally, but I understand it. So you're still a good player for having to have rune crafted with NPC contact or with blood runes or running natures and selling them back in 2013. That was the only way to make rune crafting XP. Like, it's still fine, guys. We're gonna be okay. Right? That's my little therapy spiel. That'll be $90 for all of you listening.
Just have an insurance bill it. 2013 in old school RuneScape, by the way, guys. Not ours too. I that one threw me off a little bit, but I'm just remembering, yeah, this game came out in 2013.
Yeah.
If you're a longtime listener of the show, you'll remember our conversation back when we were talking about, should Guardians of the Rift be better at XP? And I can get pretty heated on the conversation. So thank you, Oxie, for taking that. I can get pretty heated on the conversation of I walked so you can run. I would much rather walk so that others can run. That to me is not a very big burden, but some people can't handle that, and it sucks. But I'm hoping that there's more of the positive voices of the community that will vote yes for things for better change in this game. Not to say that this is like the end all be all update, guys. This is a small quality of life thing that's going to make some people's accounts better. It's going to make some people have more fun in this game, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't want your pouches to come from Guardians of the Rift, you don't have to. They're not taking away the old method. The old method is still there. I think that's where people get hung up.
And it's going to get even faster when we talk about the next thing.
Yeah.
It's going to get even quicker. Holy.
Right. It will get easier. That's a good segue point. I think there's a couple on here. There's a couple more on here that we could talk about.
There's a lot of like unpulled changes that, again, glad they're unpulled. This is actually the best part of the poll for me.
Oh.
Because finally, Jagex they're game devs. They woke up and they said, holy shit, we designed the game. We can make whatever changes we want, right? Teleport tabs, deep wilderness levers, elite clue drops, grand exchange buying. There's now a dump all option where you can just like, I have 20 mil in my inventory and I want to buy, blood runes. I want to buy every possible blood rune I can with the money that I have. You can do that. And that's going to be an integrity change. Awesome. Thank you, Jagex. I'm not even memeing when I say thank you for just finally being game devs. And just integrity changes. Because this shit would have been voted on last year. Should we remove the menu? Yes, and don't ask me again from charter ships? That would have had to pass 75%. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Unironically, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Yeah.
But another poll blog came out that people are going to vote on. I'm personally real excited for. NPC contact getting quicker does have a point.
That's true.
Because they did release the Combat Achievements expansion.
Ooh.
Have you looked into that at all, Michael?
I have. And I will admit, I was doing my morning duty and I pulled it up because like when I'm on, when I'm doing that, I won't get into detail. I'm usually on Facebook, scrolling through Facebook because I'm an old man and I still use Facebook. And I follow Old School RuneScape on Facebook, and I see anytime they post a blog post. Many of you youngins out there would probably say I found it on Twitter or I found it on Reddit. No, I get my news from Facebook. Unironically, I don't actually know. You're old. I get my RuneScape news from Facebook. But yes, I saw this and I was scrolling through it. I got to the bottom part where all of the main changes were. I'm like, yeah, that seems good. Let's do it. But I'm not somebody who will likely get past the elite tier. So most of this probably won't pertain to me. I may get master tier done, but there's no way I'm getting grandmaster. That's just not happening. As much as we talked about like you know, I'll get my Inferno Cape someday. There's a lot on there that I don't know that I want to dedicate the time to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day. Again, it's all maybe, but like I'm calling it now. If I get my Grandmasters done, something had to drastically change. Like I became a full-time content creator and I play RuneScape for a living. I think that's going to be the sending off point for me to say, let's go for Grandmaster. It's just like I have 19 hours a day to play RuneScape.
If we ever get to that point, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. But that is neither here nor there, right?
Right.
So there's two pieces to this that I am so excited because, as we both know, I am the combat achievement connoisseur in Xpwaste.
Mm-hmm.
This bot is AFKing so hard at Virus, he's about to die because his prayer ran out. What a shitter! Oh my god!
Report him.
Well, he's wearing
Send
a Slayer
him to
helmet, so he might not be a bot.
It's to throw you
nope,
off.
he hopped. What a coward. So I haven't been going for combat achievements particularly because the master tier is just hard stopped by the Inferno. It's just I need to get the Tazar Wreck challenges done for 3 and 4 that require an Inferno Cape. And there's also a challenge to complete the Inferno without losing a pillar, which for those of you who watch my runs know that I am a dirty nibbler chaser. But that's something I'll just feel more comfortable doing on task. Like that's just, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's something I would prefer to do. I would prefer to go back on task and just take care of it then. That's kind of my goal with that. But even though I don't have masters done, you know, I still have like, I think 46 master tasks done and then like 7 or 8 grandmasters done. There's 2 changes here. The first is a little strange. The first is they want to change the combat achievements to make them more like league tasks, which I don't hate. It feels like there's a little bit more strategy with how you play it. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily know if I love it. Mainly because I don't know how it'll affect the rewards that we're going to talk about here in a second. But TLDR, they're thinking of like lower tier tasks give lower points and vice versa. So Grandmaster will give the most points. And then you will use those points you earn to unlock various rewards. It's something they're looking into. It's not guaranteed, and it doesn't look like it's going to be voted on when this goes live, when this poll blog eventually finalizes. But it's a consideration. I just don't know how it's going to work and how it's going to be controlled. Because like even if we look right now, right, at the elite tier, you get elite clues at a faster rate, as well as all the other tiers below it. You get ecumenical keys at a faster rate. You have less God Wars dungeon KC required to get in to the boss rooms, and you have more monsters for like a boss slayer task. Is there gonna be like a threshold cutoff for like you need to unlock a certain number of achievements in the easy, medium, hard, elite tier in order to start getting the master tier? Because if it suddenly becomes a choice, right? I'm a main account with a shitload of money. I can buy clue scrolls. I don't need them to have an increased drop rate. But if I could spend that money and get an extra Jad task, or if I could spend that money and get more charges on my Gommel's Hilt to go to Moral Wreck, I would prefer to spend the points that way. So I'm interested to see how that change gets implemented. But more importantly, they are considering upping the rewards for combat achievements. That was throughout the high level PVM community. That's been one of the most consistent complaints, is that combat achievements are a lot of fun and really fucking difficult for not a whole lot of in-game reward.
Yeah.
There is the Zuck helm. The Slayer helms are the best way to flex in the game. I was talking to my team earlier today, and I only have the elite tier done of combat achievements. I am by no means the Wooks of our clan. I'm one of like less than 10 people who have the elite tier done in our clan. So like that's cool, you know? Not that I'm the only one capable of doing it. I'm sure more people can do it. They just haven't or don't want to or whatever. So there's a lot of cool ways to flex the achievement, but there's not a lot that you get out of it. Like a max cape is cracked with all the benefits you get from a max cape. The achievement diary cape, cracked. All the rewards, all the teleports, all the little benefits. Yeah. Combat achievements, especially at the higher end, you know?
My thought about the combat achievements was always like, thank you for a reward that I would have used ages ago.
Like that's exactly what it is.
Grandmaster. You get less kill count at God Wars. Whoop-de-doo. Who's going to God Wars?
If you have a Zuck helm, you're not going to God Wars Dungeon for fun. You're just not doing it.
God Wars.
You're not going. Like a boss slayer, you probably have a max cape. Or you have 99 slayer. Like one of the two. Like if you have a GM helmet and you don't have 99 slayer, how?
How?
Good on you, mate. Like how?
Slayer's probably your favorite skill if you have a Grandmaster.
Realistically, yeah. They do want to increase the Like a Boss and the God Wars entry KC. They want to increase boss, decrease entry KC, respectively. So currently with the elite tier, that's what we're going to use as an example. You can get, I think, 43 bosses instead of 35. They want to up it to 55.
Oh, wow.
All the way up to 65 bosses for the Grandmaster tier.
It's pretty decent.
Which is pretty substantial. It's like twice as much, you know? Yeah. Can you imagine a 65 kill Zulrah trip? Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's pretty decent.
I think Zulrah is actually capped, TBH, but I think Zulrah is the only one. And then for kill counts, they want to reduce the Grandmaster one to 15.
Which I think is nice.
The elite tier down to 32.
Again.
Like that's a nice reward.
Who's doing God Wars though?
Who's doing God
Maybe you're
Wars,
going to do it more often if you only have to get 15 KC for, and you don't have to get those ecumenical keys as often. But like again, the question is, who's doing God Wars?
The reality is, and Jagex knows this, is if you're going for masters or grandmasters, you're not like making money. You're doing a bingo. Like that's literally why you're there. Nobody with Jesse's level of talent at this game is like, guys, let's go to Bandos and make some money. Like, what? No, you're running hard mode. You're running expert mode. You're actually making money. You know?
The only one that I could see is maybe Nex. Getting only 15 Nex KC. That's like 3 or 4 of the followers, and then you've got your Nex KC.
3 spiritual mages. Yeah, it's 3 spiritual mages.
3 spiritual mages. So like,
because I think they give 6. So
even then, you're not killing that many spiritual mages, even to begin with the current rewards for Grandmaster. Because it's what, 30?
30 to get
30 something?
Yeah, it's 30 with Grandmaster.
You're killing 5 or 6 of them? 6 of them? 5 of them? Math is hard.
Math.
So it's 2 less than you have to kill currently to get into the next instance. But so my question in this is, are those going to be unpulled? Are they just going to do that? Because they also have a thing at the bottom of this blog post that's like more rewards.
The new rewards. This is the good shit. This is the I'm going to use this now.
This is bread and butter.
Kind of like what you're talking about. This is more along the lines of like what people have been asking for, which I think is really nice. You know me. I hope they don't pull any of this shit. I hope they just put it in the game. They will pull it.
I don't see why they should have to pull it, because none of this is overly... None of this is overly...
is based on community feedback, and we have to pull things.
This is what they should have done in the first place. So, in my opinion, they should just
huge. They had to like rework all the systems and shit. So, like, I understand why they didn't do it immediately. It was a big undertaking to add combat achievements, but it's time for an update. You know, like the new rewards though sound like a lot of fun. You know, I hope they don't pull any of this stuff. I know they will. I hope it all passes. I know all of it won't. Just because, like, we're the old school RuneScape community. I don't know. No, the new rewards actually seem super cool and super worthwhile at the lower tier.
Yes.
It's great. Like, the combat achievements start to get really cool around the hard tier, where you can get your own private instances and you start to get, like, less God Wars dungeon kills. And then they kind of plateau because, like, other than more than one Zuck task, who really gives a shit? If you're in the Master or Grandmaster skill base, like, you don't care. other than the Zuck task, you don't really care. More or less, mind you. But on the lower end, there's really nothing that incentivizes you to do it. But now they want to add more warrior tokens and earn additional points from pest control for the easy and the medium tiers, which a lot of the stuff in the easy and medium tiers are super doable. The only real exception be kill a worm, which takes like, it's 63 Slayer. That's the only one that I think is a little out of place for the easy tier.
It's weird.
Just because of the Slayer level. Everything else, super doable at like, even for like an early game combat account, you know? You've done all your quests, you have a Dragon Scimitar, like early game PVM. So doable.
What's the level for worms again?
63, I think.
So effectively 58 with a boost. So that's not hard. 58 Slayer?
It's not horrible. It's just also not that quick. So like, you know, when you can bang out all the Winter Tot achievements in like the first hour of your account, you know, it's like, okay. The medium tier is where things finally start to get spicy. Like, if you're holding the Gommel's hilt, if this passes, you won't lose prayer in Barrows.
Wow.
There won't be prayer drain anymore, which like that I would carry that shit around with me. Like, that is a big money saver. That is really good for Iron Men, you know? I have one of the guys on my team is an Iron Man. He was stoked when he saw that.
Yes.
Just because that sounds super cool, you know? The rewards keep increasing. When you get to the hard tier, you get 3 extra points for pest control. Doesn't change Warriors Guild tokens, but, you know, 200% more Warriors Guild tokens goes from like, what's a mithril armor set? Like 30?
It's been so long.
Does that effectively bump it up to like 90 tokens? I don't know how that math works.
Yeah, I don't know.
Point is, you get a lot more when you do the medium tier. The hard tier pest control games on the 100 combat boat, you get 8. That's really quick to do Void and Elite Void.
Yep.
50% cheaper imbues. That's huge from the hard tier. From Nightmare Zone or Soul Wars or wherever you imbue shit. And they didn't include the PvP arena either. Which somebody mentioned that they're like, yeah, even they know that like PvP arena was a huge flop. Like they don't care. And then, like we said earlier, NPC contact gets quicker. It starts in the elite tier, right? NPC contact spell is 2 ticks faster. Now, why is that a thing?
Turiel boosting.
And Turiel skipping.
And rather skipping. Sorry, Turiel skipping.
It's skipping and boosting. I mean, it's faster Slayer points per hour if you're boosting, because it's 2 ticks quicker. And it's better skips per hour. It's more Zuck tasks. It's more boss tasks. It's better tasks for bingo if you're Turiel skipping, right? And then you have a better chance to spawn superior monsters. And there is a new effect where like silver jewelry, so expeditions and slaughters, have a 10% chance to just fully recharge instead of break. So one in every 10 bracelets, you just get another bracelet back, which is
nice.
Cool. The Master and Grandmaster keep upping this. So by the time you get to Grandmaster, NPC contact is 7 ticks faster. It's like almost instantaneous at that point.
Yeah.
Hard is 4 ticks faster, or Master's 4 ticks faster, rather. In the Master tier, Thralls last longer. Right. So if you have 99 magic, instead of a minute, you get them for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
For Thralls, that's super cool. You get a new blessing that allows you to save charges for anything that uses charges. And you get an Avernic Defender cosmetic override, which should look sick.
One thing I'm curious about with the blessing is if it will be on par with the prayer bonus you get from Rada's blessing. I don't know.
I wouldn't think it has a prayer blessing at all.
Okay. Well, they called it a blessing. That implies a prayer bonus. They should have just said a new item for your necklace or whatever, your ammo slot. I would assume it's getting a blessing.
You bring up a good point. Though the first Rada's Blessing 1 doesn't have a prayer bonus.
Right.
So I get it. But I think you're right. Having like a +1 prayer bonus would be pretty fair, and like effectively it's way better at most places. Like it's such a big money save doing 5%
content chance to not consume a charge. That's pretty big.
1 in every 20 shots. That's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be super cool if they carried this over to a Blood Fury. If this applied for a Blood Fury, that would be awesome.
Yes. I wonder if it will, because it says charged items. Blood Fury is a charged item, but I think they mean more like your blowpipes and your tridents.
If it applied to armor, though, Barrow's armor, Crystal armor, Blood Furies, like Rings of Recoil, Rings of Suffering, like this item has potential.
Yeah.
Like absolutely best in slot potential over the Rada's Blessing 4. If you're doing PVM. If you're doing Slayer, you absolutely want that prayer bonus. But I think I think the Master tier gets the best rewards, because the Grandmaster tier is just the Master tier but better.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
it's like 2 minutes on a thrall, almost instantaneous NPC contact, and then your Gommel's hilt, and then your Gommel's hilt 6 will look even swankier. So like, yeah, it's gonna look swanky,
so it's
but
effectively,
even swankier.
It's effectively just a golden,
probably
Avernic
a
Defender.
trim. Yeah.
Yeah, which I am a little concerned about the Avernic Defender override. So when a new quest comes out, you can't wear a quest cape. When a new diary comes out, you can't wear a diary cape. When a new music track comes out, you can't wear the music cape. Same thing with combat achievements. You can't wear your Jad Slayer helm when new elite tasks come out. So is this going to be reversible?
Right. It has to be. It has to be.
I would kind of hope so, because if you make an unchangeable cosmetic override to an Avernic Defender, and then all of Oblivion just doesn't have an Avernic Defender for a week while they're getting these combats, like,
that means they have to go buy a new one, though. So,
I mean, cool, but like that's a waste of bank space at that point. Plus, then you have to get another Dragon Defender to attach it to, which like is a pain in the dick that you don't want to do.
99 attack makes that grind so much better though, because I redid it for my Wildy Slayer grind. I have a Dragon Defender and my Avernic Defender, so I can just take a Dragon Defender into the wilderness and not have to worry about it. So the attack cape makes that very nice. You don't have to worry about getting tokens. Just kill.
We considered making that a tile for bingo. Get a Dragon Defender. We considered adding it to Dragon Weapon Emporium. But we're like, you know what? That's
people
gonna be
suffered enough.
like that's gonna be either unrealistic for some accounts, or that's just gonna be fucking boring for other accounts. Like, I have 99 attack. I don't want to get a second Dragon Defender.
It took like almost an hour. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It took almost an hour to get it.
Exactly. I have no interest. I don't want to go back. The one thing I have seen that I think would be pretty cool, that a lot of people have brought up in our Discord, is that for the Grandmaster combat achievements, people would really like to see the Book of the Dead not be a thing. Anymore. Like, once you get your Grandmaster combat achievements, you no longer require the Book of the Dead to spawn thralls.
They're talking about longer thralls, but I don't think people care so much about how long they're out. People care that you just have to carry around that stupid book. So it's like saying, here's a hamburger. You wanted a hamburger, right? But it's like, it's an Impossible Burger, and you're like, I eat meat. Why am I don't want a veggie burger. It's like, you thought you wanted something.
It feels like, you know what? It feels like you have to, they're giving you a hamburger, but you have to eat it with chopsticks.
I like that better.
That's what it feels like, because you have access to the hamburger. You're a grown man. You can eat a hamburger with your bare hands.
Right.
But the fact that you have to bring these chopsticks with you every single time you want to eat a burger, you're good enough to like be able to manage your pockets. You can still have your cell phone, your wallet, your keys, your vape, or in my case, an inhaler, and you can have the chopsticks in there, no problem.
It's just annoying bringing it.
But it's because then if you forget your chopsticks, you can't eat the burger at all.
No, yeah.
You went to a burger place, forgot your chopsticks, and now you go fuck yourself. You can't eat while you're at the burger place.
Your specific pair of chopsticks. Like, you can't even borrow it.
You can't even borrow somebody else's. No. Like, you've eaten other kinds of sandwiches. You've eaten BLTs, chicken sandwiches, no problem. But for burgers, you need chopsticks, right? And even Impossible Burgers, you don't need chopsticks, but beef burgers you do. See where I'm coming from? You can cast any other magic spell in the game without a fancy piece of equipment. They balance thralls around the book.
You can cast any other Arceus spell without the book.
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe not any other spell. Someone's going to say, Ivan's Blast if you're an Iron Man, or like the God spells or something like that. Like, no, you cannot cast every single spell. The thralls are not the first time you need an additional item. They're the first time you need an additional item where it matters. And I think it's less about, kind of like I said with the chopsticks, it's less about the inventory management because most of the time you're taking 8-way switches or 9-way switches to high level PVM at that point. You don't care about the inventory slot. It's when you forget it and you just can't use the spells at all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I think that quality of life, that convenience is good, you know?
Yeah. And that's something that they really should look into. I've seen the conversation a lot on Reddit where people are like, just give us what we want. You know, you're not out of touch with the community. They know what the community wants and doesn't want. They can read Reddit posts. It's just a matter of actually changing it at this point, which they still can. This is just a proposal. You know, they haven't said anything.
It's not a bad proposal.
Right.
All these analogies about the book, this is not a bad proposal. I am stoked for these new rewards. This sounds fun as hell.
Right.
And it makes combat achievements more worth doing for other people.
Right.
But to my point earlier about if they change it to a leagues point system, what are they going to do?
Yeah, that was a question I had because I kind of skipped over that and didn't realize it. But like, okay, so if you were confused earlier, as I was, the point system would essentially be this. Instead of having to, and here's an example. Instead of having to do all of the easy tasks to get the easy rewards, say you did...
Like the additional pest control points, for example.
Sure. Say you were able to do 2 of the hard rewards and a medium, and that was the same amount of points to unlock all the easy rewards. You just saved yourself potentially a bunch of time, and now you have the rewards that you want, and you only had to do 3 tasks versus however many you have to do for the easy. So that's the proposal, which I think could be fun. It gives the people who potentially can go to the Inferno an easier path to the rewards that they want, you know, because maybe you really don't care about some of the rewards in a tier and you want to go straight to another tier. Well, now you have that option. Because like as it stands now, it works exactly like the achievement diaries. Like to get the hard reward tier, you have to do easy and medium first. So I don't know if they're changing that, maybe potentially.
And this is where the confusion comes in, because I don't think I hate the system entirely. I don't hate the idea of like, I only have the hard diary done, but I get more kills from my boss tasks because I unlock that from the elite. Like, cool, you still did a lot of boss tasks, but like now you can't have private instances at God Wars because you spent all your points. Like there is going to be a negative to every positive of like upgrading tiers. I'm going to say 2 words that might really upset some people. It might trigger them. My DMs are open. It'll be $90 per message. Sage's Renown. You remember Sage's Renown, where you could buy tiers of quests, right? Is it going to work in the same way that Sage's Renown worked in A, that you can, if you have enough points, buy all of buy all of the rewards in one go? So if you get, 250 combat achievement points, you can buy the 15 kill count to get into God Wars dungeon off the rip without buying anything else? Or does it have to be incremental? Like you have to buy 1 to buy the next tier, like we currently have it. And are we going to run into the problem that we did with Sage's Renown of there are 1,000 combat achievement points, but only 750 points worth of rewards to buy. Oh. So then why the fuck do you bother completing the combat achievements?
Right.
Because if you buy all the rewards, that's all people care about.
All the people,
no one's like, show me your green combat achievements log, because you can do that now with the Slayer helms and the crossbows and the hilts and shit like that. And I think maybe that's how they're going to change it, is they're going to make it so that you won't be able to use the cosmetic overrides until you complete the tiers. That, I think, would be a good way to avoid that. But, you know, it's just concerns. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not super averse to it. I don't think it's a bad update. Because, again, points make dopamine go burr. But just things to consider and things to maybe flesh out a little bit in the next poll blog, Jagex, if you're listening, is how this system would affect buying rewards. But
I'm really interested to see what they come up with and the feedback, if they take the feedback from the community, which I'm hoping they do, because ultimately the community is the ones who are going to use these. Yes, there's JMods who play the game. I'm not saying they don't, but it's for us. It's for us, the community. And one last thing that I'll say, and I think we'll go to break. I'm excited for this in the sense that right now, there's really not a lot of incentive for easy through hard. Yes, hard. You mentioned God Wars instances, but like, how many times are people using that? Iron Men already get it. I think we've gone to God Wars a ton in the last 24 hours, and I'm sure there's people who maybe have hard combat diaries, and I've not heard one person say, yeah, I'll just open an instance, you know? So I'm excited for this in the sense that easy through hard, they're actually adding things that people will use. The biggest one, I think, is going to be the prayer drain, which I'm very excited for. The imbues, maybe, because once you've got to the hard tier, shouldn't you already have everything imbued unless a new item comes out?
More Slayer helms, more rings. Maybe you sell something, you want to re-imbue it, you know? Yeah,
it's true. But that's it. I'm just excited that this gives more incentive to actually complete those things, you know, because if I'm looking at the combat diaries, I'm like, yeah, I'll work on that once I'm 99. You know, once I'm max combat, just knock it out. Now it gives you a reason to look at it and say, oh, I'm base 70s or I'm base 60s. Should I go for the mediums? Yeah, go for it. You're probably pushing your defender. You're going to need more warrior tokens. You're probably pushing getting void. You're going to want more pest control points. So it gives everybody a chance to dip their toes into it, which is, again, something I am all for. Just let more people have content in this game. So that being said, though, any last thoughts before we send these people off to break?
I think that the only thing we haven't talked about that is new is Fresh Start Worlds. And Fresh Start Worlds are still a money-grabbing scam, because who's on the top of the Fresh Start World leaderboards?
Streamers.
Content creators who have been playing the game since it came out. To the surprise of no one, I don't know how many new players have actually joined Fresh Start Worlds. So thank you, Carlisle Group, for this delightful addition to old school RuneScape. With that, I am content to send people to break, Michael.
All right, guys. We'll see you after this.
Hey there, adventurer. You're finally awake. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Agent B, and I work with the Gillinor Protection Agency. If you're watching this video, that means you're probably under the supervision of the medical experts here with the GPA. Don't worry, you're perfectly safe. It says here that you were going to try your hand at Kriara, but you slipped off of Trollheim Mountain and fell unconscious. That's okay. Happens to the best of us, really. Thankfully, a few of our agents found you all bruised up out there in the cold and brought you back here to recover. Now, your report says that you hit your head pretty hard, so you might remember some things, but be aware that not all of these memories are correct. Any thoughts or memories of blood reavers or ancient ceremonial robes simply aren't true. It's just your brain imagining things to help make sense of the accident. You've been with us for a little while now, so getting back to your day-to-day life might be tricky at first. People may have started to spread rumors about you, and some may ask strange questions when you return. Some may make you uncomfortable, and some questions may make your mind think of fake scenarios in order to cope with the stress. Don't you worry though, we've thought of some replies that'll help you reacclimate to society one question at a time. There is no frozen door. There is no fifth general. The God Wars dungeon has not been altered in any way. She does not exist. She does not exist. She does not exist. She does not exist. Operation, and we hope you have a speedy recovery. My name is Agent B, wishing you the best, and always remember, the Gillinor Protection Agency is here to serve you, her.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break, because I know that I sure did. It's part of the show now where we give a shout out to our lovely patrons who support us on patreon.com/Xpwaste. It's been a while since I've done this, so buckle up, folks. If you're part of the Wise Old Man tier or the KBD tier on our Patreon, you do get a personal shout out every single episode. No matter how many there are, we will always do this. So thank you so much to everyone who does support us. But I want to give you a personal shout out and a thank you, starting with Wise Old Man tier, 10,000 Slugs, Escape Caution, Andrew, Ilagio, Bollimer, Basket, Benjamin R, Pork Jerry, Bradley B, Casper, Hadadbod, Cole, C. Gladney, Connor M, Morty, Cream Tam, Dean R, Dean 709, Drum TXT, Duke Bradley, DWZK, D. Falconer, Farmer Isaac, Flying Castiel, Fortimus, Francine 1225, Gecko, who's on my bingo team, Gloves, Hajay, Hoofhearted, Curtisas. I apologize for saying that one incorrectly if I did say it wrong. Please message me on Discord and let me know how to say it. MB Jones, Jack M, Jake W, Jerry, John Pounder, Kevin B, Kios Bane, Potato Pancake, Posh Padre, Mag Morpheus, Miyamo Poppy, Mig Roll, Mike Oxmall, Mima, Moist Sean, Nasty MFer, Nick Mynack, 999999, Ninja Turtle Ruby, Obsidian Paladin, Old Mate Dill, Old Nikya, Okami Damashi, Ice, Real Crazy, Relentus, Russ of Fury, Salted Snail, Soggy Waffles, Shadow, Skalaxon, Sholdveg, Slay Oxus, Solaire OS, Tankneek, The Chungaroo, The Rep Dog, THG Bang, Thormac, The Good Iron, Troll, T-Pace, Valdon, Zach without a K, Wallow. Thank you so much to everyone in the Wise Old Man tier. Again, we appreciate you guys so much. Moving on to our KBD tier. Thank you so much, everyone in the KBD tier. Big smooches. Mwah, mwah, mwah. We love you guys so much. Starting out with Aaron, Bloodman, aka Young Kyle, Brokes 70, Oxie's dad, my dad, your dad, everyone's dad. Hi, Dad. Dicky Bird, GIM Stones, Kroll, the Lord Jake himself, Ice Steam, our third favorite supporter, Ralph, Rylithian, Satanbot 666, Seth Shep, Skooma 92, Spartan Fire, The Big G Jordy, and Toast No Toast. Again, thank you so much. You guys do not have to support us each and every month, but you choose to, and we appreciate you from the bottom of our heart. If you want to support us, you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/XPWaste. We have lots of tiers with a lot of great benefits. If you're part of the Wise Old Man tier or KBD tier, not only do you get shouted out, but you get to hang out with us live while we record some spicy stuff. There is a unspoken rule that if you're in the recording booth chat, you just don't talk about things that we may talk about, because you may get spoilers or you may get a heads up on stuff before it happens. It's fun time.
That is true. That is true.
That is true. So join us on
pretty frequently here in the recording booth chat.
All the time. So join us on our Patreon. Like I said in the beginning, patreon.com/XPWaste. We'd love to see you over there. We did hit a massive goal. Thank you, Oxie, for shouting that out the last episode. We hit 150 patrons, guys. You guys are awesome. So the shirts Oxie mentioned. Yes, I was in fact designing the board, and there was a lot to do with bingo, design-wise. So we have.
There's a lot to do with bingo, period. Like, I don't even think Michael and I thought about the shirt design. I think he sent me an idea when we hit it, which I want to say wasn't even this week. I think it was like last Friday.
Right.
like I think it was like maybe the 14th or the 15th of October. We hit it. It was super hype, and we talked for maybe like an hour while I was at work and he was on vacation about a t-shirt design. And then bingo kicked off in like the I don't think we talked about it until right now.
Right. Yep.
So we're stoked, but we're just busy.
Like Oxie said in the last episode, we'll have the shirts designed probably after bingo, so about another week. And then we'll be sending you guys out something to collect your information. Now, this is completely voluntary. So if you don't want to give us your address, your name, all the things required to send you something for free, you don't have to. But we would love to give you a free shirt to commemorate our challenge that we hit with your guys' help. So be on the lookout for some sort of Google form, potentially just something like a Patreon message. But we will need to get addresses. We'll need to get a way to send this to you. And we'll be collecting that in the next couple weeks.
And I will say, with my experience with the U.S. Postal Service, we said it once and we'll say it again. They really don't like screen names. If you live outside of the United States, especially, we're going to need a legal first and last name. We're not going to do anything with it. And frankly, we're not even going to know who you are if you don't attach your screen name to it. But the post office, it doesn't like sending things to like, it wouldn't let you send anything to escape caution.
Right.
It would make you send it to his first and last name.
Right.
So if you're international outside of the United States, please send us a first and last name on the form. Even if you're in the United States, first and last name, super helpful.
Yeah. First name, again, last initial. It could, I think that could even suffice. So we're not going to do anything with the information. We're not signing you up for some spammy, mailing list. We literally want to give you a free shirt. So you're not going to receive credit card offers in the mail for giving us your information. So need not worry there, Xpwasters. But yes, thank you so much to everyone who did help us reach that goal. We appreciate you guys so much. I would say look out for more challenges, but I don't know. That could be one and done. What I will say though is if you are part of Xpwaste, every year we like to do this fun thing where we send out Christmas cards. So that is no exception this year.
Yeah, we do.
If you'd like to receive a card, be part of our Patreon starting in the month of November or December. We'll try to have those out early so you get them by Christmas. But that is another thing I need to work on, the design of. I will say, keep an eye on our shop. We're going to have a fun thing being posted hopefully soon. But that's all I'll say. It's Christmas related. So if it's in our shop, you probably understand what I'm saying. Those keen-minded listeners out there, but be on the lookout. We'll definitely talk about that more in the future. Right now, it's enough of the self promo. I want to talk about what you guys are wanting to talk about, which is the community question. So we didn't have one last week because last week was a Patreon episode, which we hope you enjoyed. I saw some things. I saw some people posting how we made a very corporate decision with not posting part 2, but hey, you never know. Part 2 may come in the future. We may need to take another week off, namely around Thanksgiving. We do that. We take that week off. So, hey, you may get part 2 in the future without subscribing to our Patreon. But it's $5 a month, and you get 13 or 14 extra episodes. So if you want to subscribe, it's $5 for that extra episode. So,
but yeah, no, we know it was a little corporate cash grabby.
It wasn't the intention.
We didn't have a lot of other not 2-part episodes that weren't just either A, complete memery, or B, super doxing.
Yeah.
Because the thing with extra episodes is we tend to get a little bit more personal, and we talk personal stories, things like that. And we weren't about to release some episodes because oh yeah, this is a picture of myself, my wife, all of our friends. This is so-and-so and so-and-so. And no, we're not going to do that. So that unfortunately some of those episodes were off the table. So we do apologize. But yeah, Michael's right. We're not going to just not release part 2. It will come in time.
Thank you, Oxie. It is now time though for the community question. So all that to say, there wasn't a community question last week. There is one this week, and we're going to read the one from 2 weeks ago. ideally, we should have read this one last week because it would have been in time to actually put some of these ideas into place. But I don't think any of these ideas should be in place, and I haven't even read them. So the question they asked is, if you could design any bingo tile for our fall 2022 bingo, what would it be? Starting us off with Alice. Have your team collect the most Xpwaste seeds. It's not a bad idea. I mean, that's just like daily farm runs, so it's not... Okay, I'll take it back. Some of these probably are going to be fine. I just know you guys are the meme trolls, and there's probably going to be some in here.
I was going to say, Michael's not even read them yet, so he's not...
read them yet.
For all you poor souls who put serious answers in, like...
I do apologize.
Well, I'll be taking notes for Springo 23.
Okay,
don't worry.
Sweet. Karate Mon
First note, not volcanic mine.
Exactly. Karate Mon says, longest time bank standing. Start a stopwatch whenever you start. Also must be skilling. Or a hide and seek tile where 2 non-bingo players or more go and hide. Whoever find them, you get the point. And this is from Dave the Scrub. Sorry, not Karate Mon. This one's our boy Mima. He says, minimum 2 people free to play TOA completion. So I would assume that means TOA and only free-to-play armor, free-to-play gear.
Mm-hmm.
And he said brews and restores would be allowed. So he's giving us a little bit of helper there. Old Man Dill says, bit of a different take on clues. Speed running. How many clue completions can be done in 1 hour? Best time for the beginner clues gets 1 point, medium gets 2, etc., etc., etc. For some reason, no easy clues. But maybe that's just because I don't know, you can get them quickly.
If that tile were possible without people stacking hundreds of caskets, that'd be awesome.
Sure.
Because you can get 500 clue completions in 10 minutes if you stack caskets at a time.
Very, very true.
So,
Mike B says, report as many bots and scammers at the GE in a single day. Okay. Nathan G says, for King of the Hill, a clue race. Complete as many clues as possible. Different levels grant different points towards a tile. Or PK a player in a non-PvP scenario, like Vires or moving at Akka in example. Oh my gosh, can you kill people at Vires?
Not the bees.
Can you kill people at Vires?
I have not seen how.
Oh,
I mean, you could probably spam close the door and keep them out of the shrine, but like, unless they're a bot, they have to be really bad to die because they couldn't open a door.
That's just ragging at that point.
Yeah.
Dynamite says, it'd be cool if you put a tile in there to get a food drop or the most food drops from all the dragons that drop food.
All the dragons that drop food?
Interesting. Jacob M says, something to do with Soul Wars. It'd be fun to do a team versus team thing. That would be fun. Soul Wars is interesting content.
We really did consider it. The metas for getting points for Soul Wars suck.
Yeah.
Balls.
Yeah. Well, Team v Team
Team v Team would be fun, but hard to coordinate.
Yeah.
Back in the day when we used to have like 4 or 5 people on a team, it was hard to get everyone online at one time. There are 17 people per team right now.
Yeah.
So it would be, if everything were to work out perfectly, that would be an awesome tile.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how feasible it would be. Because
Right.
we really did consider like get an ectoplasmator or like get one of the capes or something like that. But like just earning points sucks.
Yeah.
You have to like dolo or like go to the CC and stand there for 15 minutes. Like,
Right.
It's just not fun. You
Yeah.
know?
We'd really think about a way to make it fun. Goth says Sepulcher PB tile or a Raid's Mega Rare tile. Nice. Mega Rares are hard just because like it's so grindy.
We also considered Sepulcher PB. It also locks out a lot of people because a lot of mid gamers can do Chain versus Eric, and anyone in the raid can get a purple.
Right.
You can get a 1k CT after you die 7 times at home. It's possible. If you don't have 92 agility, see ya.
Sorry.
So
yeah, that makes it hard. That makes it hard. Chris J says, my bingo suggestion is all the big fish mounted in one player-owned house. Not in bingo this year, but excited to hear about it on the Discord and the podcast. Chris J, whoever you are in game, we'll see you in the next one.
I to Springo 23.
Toast says TMD's fricked clue tile. It's too easy to obtain van braces. Make it a 1-pointer. What? What? Van braces?
Toast got third age van braces.
Oh, did he really?
Like, I don't remember what hard clue, but I want to say it was within his like first 10 of Springo.
Oh,
like
my goodness.
He got stupid lucky. I don't know if it was I think it was a hard clue because it was van braces. Stupid lucky. Like they didn't even have to try to get that clue. It just sort of showed up.
Too easy.
Him.
Too easy.
Yeah, exactly. Too easy. So he thinks it should be worth less points because it was just free points for them. But you know.
Oh gosh. Young Mac says, get a duplicate Kraken pet. Young Mac out here absolutely ragging on TMD. We said ragging is not allowed in this bingo.
What a man.
Young Mac, come on.
Out of nowhere. I love it.
Okay. So there are actually no replies on YouTube. So this will be our last reply. And it's from this guy named Michael. He says, tile idea. Watch Monsters, Inc. on repeat while doing the sepulcher on a trackpad on your 2011 MacBook Air that you used in high school to write papers.
Do you want to talk about it, Michael? Are you good? Like,
I was really hoping.
Seems hyper specific.
I was really hoping you guys would read this on this last episode because that's a suggestion from me.
Do you want to talk about it, Michael?
I'll read it again for those who couldn't comprehend what I was saying. Tile idea. Watch Monsters, Inc. on repeat while doing the sepulcher with a trackpad on your 2011 MacBook Air that you used in high school to write papers. I was just trying to come up with a meme tile that was super funny. I wasn't expecting for myself to read it. And there's no reaction from Oxie. So, I'll just never do that
I think
again.
you need help. I think you need help.
I don't need help.
Does it have your first and last name on there? It
does.
Yeah, so I would have known it was you.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, SMH, man.
SMH. But that's it for the community question. Thank you guys so much for answering that one from 2 weeks ago. This week's question will be, what is your favorite QOL update that is on the poll currently? Or, let's throw a little and or, just in case you don't really care. I want to know what you would want as a quality of life update for this game.
Now that's a community question.
Yeah.
What do you want as a QOL update for old school RuneScape? There it is.
If I see anybody answer the first half of that question, out of here. Only answer the second part.
We're just not going to put it as a question.
Okay, I'll redo it.
We're not going to put it as a question. It's fine. Just nope. We're not redoing it. We're not going to put it as a question.
Actually, just let me.
Game of Thrones comes out in 2 hours, Michael. We got to move.
All right. Well, then that is that. It is your.
I hope that whole thing is just uncut. I hope that whole thing is uncut so they see the process at work.
It's your turn.
Michael turns beet red when he messes up on the fight. He's doing it again right now. It's his show and he's so embarrassed. He has full power to edit the entire thing and he's like, no.
All right, Oxie, go ahead.
What a day. You good, homeboy?
I'm good.
What
Go for it. It is your turn to do Achievement of the Week. Not alone this time.
You are absolutely right, Michael. It is time for Achievement of the Week. I have my first mate, Cabin Boy, at the helm, taking care of all of the community questions and patrons, so we're... the look on Michael's face. We were able to bang out Achievement of the Week flawlessly this time. It took a while to get together, but we all have it assembled in a doc. And let me tell you, this is going to be a thick Achievement of the Week, folks. We're going to start things off in the miscellaneous category, one that's not normally this featured, but is this time around, because if you remember correctly, we did not do any of the fun post-commercial shenanigans last week. We saved all those for this week. So, yeah. Cracking off their quest capes this week, we have Original Shagsta, King's Vow, CJ, Old Mate Dill, one of my bingo teammates, I'm Chased or Chassid, not sure how you pronounce that, Binding Bink, and Gilligan. That's what, 7 quest capes in a week? We don't ever see that many quest capes in a week.
Whoa.
Right? You know, I don't know what quests everyone got all of their capes on, except for old mate Dill, because again, he's on my bingo team. He was talking about a night at the theater, and he's like, hey, like, could anyone go with me? Like, I'm in Australia, the timing's really weird. And one of my other teammates, Fear Garden, was like, just try it yourself, see what happens. Like, we're more than happy to take you, but I think Fear's logic was, I recommend you try it by yourself, because it's going to feel so much better to complete by yourself. First or second attempt, cracked it off, no problem. And he was super excited when he put it in the bingo chat as well. So that was very cool. Congratulations to all 7 of you on your quest cape. But rounding out the miscellaneous this week, we have Toaster Bath with his music cape.
Damn.
Like, all over the place with music capes. You know, it's an underappreciated skill cape. It really is.
I would agree.
I don't want to say underappreciated in the sense of like underutilized, right? It's crucial for master clues, and it's some pretty sick fashion scape. But I mean, like, you don't really think about how long it takes you to get all of the music tracks. Everyone normally gets hung up on like one of like maybe 4 of them, which is like Inferno music track, Mimic music track, Champion Scroll music track, and then like a curtain closes. Those tend to be the 4 that are like, they take people a long time. Inferno, curtain closes, both of those are pretty free between entry mode for your quest cape and then the Tazar challenge. And then the Mimic and the Champions track, those are the ones that hold people back. But it's a big achievement to get a music cape because you have to do so much shit in order to get it done. You have to get to every boss lair. You have to finish every raid one way or another. You have to do every single quest. You have to visit every single area in the game. Like, you got a music cape, you've been around once or twice, you know? But that wraps up the miscellaneous categories. So we're going to transition on over onto the combat, which is a little bit bigger, but not nearly as big as skilling, as I'm sure you guys would have imagined. Combat, we've got some pretty cool stuff. As always, first fire capes. We haven't seen a lot of first fire capes. It's the first time that we only have 3 in a 2-week span. So I guess the people who are playing bingo probably already had a lot of them. We have Nate/Prayer Zaddy is how they define themselves. Is Prayer Zaddy is their little nickname. They got their first cape. Rawful Cats got their first cape as well. I think I said that name correctly. And then Ice9 Chills got his first fire cape like 20 minutes ago. It popped up in the CC. Everyone was hitting him with the GZs.
Hey.
So shout out to the 3 of you. Ice9 Chills makes the double appearance in this week's combat section because I believe he also got his first Zulrah kill this week.
Nice.
Which we have a lot of. We have more Zulrahs than we do Jads this week. We've got Ice9 Chills. We've got Dean709, another bingo teammate of mine who was working on Zulrah at night. I went to bed and woke up the next morning to the notification that he killed Zulrah. We have M. Scotty and we have Eldrin? I think I said that name correctly. Eldrin. We have 4 first Zulrahs. We also have Salted Snail and Old Mate Dill. Old Mate Dill for the back-to-back 2 categories with their first Gauntlet KC this week. Always super cool. As far as miscellaneous combat achievements go, we have Mima, who finally unlocked Turiel. After years of playing the game, Mima finally achieved 1,000 Slayer tasks. 1,000 tasks.
Oh my gosh.
In the hole. So now he can start Turiel skipping. He's got the screenshot. He can start Turiel skipping all he likes. Zero Fox Given achieved his Missouri kit. He actually wrote a really cool message about getting it, about how like the Missouri kit was the most challenging thing he's ever had to do PVM wise in the game.
Yeah.
And I'm here for that. That's cool as heck, you know? That you're able to like overcome that challenge. One day I hope too to overcome a challenge to get something cool to put on my back, but we'll see. Finally, rounding out combat again. Sometimes when you get kits like this, they got to be shouted out last. Immortal pulled his cursed phalanx, which is the Fang ornament kit from Tombs of a Masket, the 500 invocation one.
Whoa.
Congratulations to you, Immortal. That's a super cool Fashionscape flex item.
There you go.
Now we get into the skilling. This is the meat and potatoes of the achievement of the week, because you guys get quest capes, you guys get fire capes, but goddamn, do you guys get skill capes? And when we take a week off, goddamn, do you guys get a lot of skill capes? I'm gonna go down the list, and then we're going down the list, because holy, there's a lot of folks this week. Kicking things off, we have Mr. Darkside with 99 herb lore, Vatterboy with 99 range, Big Dirt Bottle with 99 fletching. I hope I said and spelled that correctly. Bryce with 99 farming, Antics with 99 range, at Zalra, I'm pretty sure. Tiny Rooster, love the name, 99 attack and strength. 99 attack and strength this week. Zero Fox Given with his back-to-back achievement of the week appearance with 99 magic. I think Zero got that while the draft was happening.
Oh,
everyone was like hanging out in the clan hall while the draft started, and he got 99 there.
There you go.
Silverback, another bingo teammate of mine, with 99 hit points before the event started. Trillo, who got the triple kill this week. He achieved 99 cooking, crafting, and fletching in the same day.
Yeah.
As
same party.
Like before he left to go hang out in the U.S. for a while with his fiance. So congratulations to you, Trillo. Glad you made it to the U.S. to eat American fast food, and glad you now have 3 more skill capes to your name. Spite Leech with 99 Slayer. Ice Steam with the double kill, 99 prayer and 99 defense, which also gave him max combat.
Hell yeah.
Duke Bradley with 99 cooking. Lord Maticus with 99 range and 99 cooking. Cuddy Montage with 99 fishing. Habitat with 99 crafting. TMD with also 99 crafting, but still a lower total level than Oxie. Suck it, TMD. Jamie with 99 construction, who is getting so close to a max cape. She's so close. She's like 5 levels away from maxing, but she's waiting for her infernal cape.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her. Combobulation with 99 fire making, and finally Iron Crystal with 99 hit points. That's a lot of 99s this week.
Yeah.
That's can we count how many 99s? Like, if we were one player, what would our total level be? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You guys have collectively maxed an account with all the 99s over these last 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
That's cool as hell. Congratulations, you guys. Finally, in the skilling category, Tanto Tricks hit 2K total level. Welcome to the new worlds. You're going to be there for a while. Enjoy them. It's nice. 2K total is good.
Hey, and shout out to you for your 299s.
And shout out to you for your 99 Hunter as
thank
well.
you.
We never shout ourselves out in Achievement of the Week when we're here. Because again, you guys hear about our achievements when we first started.
Yeah, we kind of shout ourselves out in the beginning.
I will shout myself out for my Infernal Cape. I do not care. That I will shout you out for your Max Cape as well.
Yeah.
I do not care. Those two will get shouted out. But that wraps up a hefty Achievement of the Week. You guys are awesome for doing that shit. If you do something awesome and you want us to know about it, come hang out in our Discord. Post about it in the Levels and Achievements chat. Post about your awesome drops. Post about your pets. The pets chat's been popping off. Appreciate you guys for keeping the pets chat alive. Post about things you're doing IRL. You won't be able to see any of the bingo stuff right now because we've got that locked behind a roll. There are currently, how many channels are there, Michael? 60?
60 something.
That we have to look at every single day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Bingo, regular bingo people see maybe 10, maybe less extra.
We have every single voice chat, every single text channel. It's horrible.
And
there's no way to collapse it.
Oh gosh.
But again, it's worth it. Come hang out. We really just, I don't know, enjoy seeing people. I ran into a guy yesterday. I was doing Zammy, hopping around for kill count. And I hop to a world and the imps are dead. I'm like, what the hell? And I see this guy and he was a Max Caper. His name was Max No Lifer. But it was spelled Nolyfer, like the name of our clan, Team No Life. And I said, hey, yo, No Lifer. And he's like, what? I'm like, do you want to join Team No Life? He's like, I'm more of a solo guy myself. I'm like, think about it, dog. Team No Life, it's a clan. And then he's like, actually, sure, might as well. So he joined later that night, and he was DMing me because he's like, yeah, add me and I'll talk to you after my Zammy trip. I'm like, all right, sure. I was at Armadillo, and this guy is DMing me, and he's like, there's a lot of people in this clan. I'm like, yeah, my buddy and I have a show that go with the clan, kind of back and forth. So there's a lot of folks, but like, you're welcome to come hang. And he's joined. We got him to join the clan last night. So that's Max No Lifer.
Hey, Max No Lifer.
And nobody knows who he is except for me. And people are still GZing him like crazy. I got like 30 million hit points XP earlier.
Oh, nice.
People are like getting like Staff of the Dead drops and things like that. People are still shouting him out. So that's a testament to how kick-ass our community is. Join the clan, achieve something awesome. You're going to get a plethora of GZs.
There you go.
Almost at like all times of the day. Too.
All times.
Like
everybody's on all the time.
all the time. There are always people online in this clan. There are 92 people online right now. That's
in the
wild.
clan?
Yeah, online right now. That's a lot of folks online.
Nice.
You know, so come hang out on Discord. You guys are awesome for Achievement of the Week. Long-winded spiels aside, Michael, it is time for the return of the fun question.
Yes, it is.
It is. It is fun question time. You know why Michael and I are always so awkward whenever we say it's fun question time? We're like, oh, it is. Because we have to double check whether or not one of us has a fun question prepared. We usually do. Unironically, we usually do. But we're always like fumbling around trying to find it. You know?
Yeah. Spiels aside. This one actually came in recently. Fellow bingo player, Langdoc. I think that's how you say it. But they asked, if you could create a single new spell for the game that could do anything you want it to do, what would it be? Their example is a telekinetic blade for nature and law runes on the Lunar Spellbook that allowed you to equip melee weapons that have a 2-tile range and are able to attack adjacent airborne targets for 1 minute. So kind of like a ranged melee weapon, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be kind of cool. I mean, it would turn, I don't know if it would like turn your current weapon into a ranged melee weapon, but it's pretty neat. I like that idea. I have one. It's pretty simple. You can go first if you like, but I can start us off.
Okay. I kind of have an idea based on, I did not look at this fun question. This just came to me. It is heavily inspired by Skyrim with destruction magic. So it is going to be an offensive kind of spell, but make it so that you can cover yourself in a certain element. I don't know. I think standard is a really good place to put this spell.
Mm-hmm.
But it could also work on ancient. Or there could be variants of it for ancient and lunar and Arceus and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But surround yourself in a cloud of fire.
Ooh.
For several seconds, like a minute. Like you have 60 seconds, you're just surrounded by fire.
Okay.
Right? And every time an NPC attacks you, it does 10% of the damage dealt back to them. It does reflect damage because they're touching you through the fire.
Wow.
Make it like 97 magic and cost like 20 blood runes per cast or 20 death runes.
Yeah.
Make it like 20 wrath, 20 blood, 50 fire.
Yeah.
And then it just surrounds your whole body.
And it's like 50
maybe
of each elemental rune type. So like
check it out, dog. You need 20 blood, 50 fire, 50 body, 20 wrath.
Oh, yeah.
Because finally body runes are
runes.
finally used for something, right? And it lasts for a minute. It has a couple minute cooldown. And it's effectively like an ability where it adds that extra layer that we see in a lot of MMORPGs that like, you know, have magic, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe there's an additional tier of it for like at 99, you can make it so like a fire coat all. So you fire coat everyone with a couple of tiles. And that one has like a 30-minute cooldown maybe. But that takes, you know, 100 bloods, 100 wraths, 1,000 fires, 1,000 bodies, something like that. And then perhaps there's variations. So perhaps there's an ice variation, or there's a blood variation where 10% of what they attack you, you heal.
Ooh.
With the blood coat. And then maybe there's an undead one where it deals 20% to undead monsters from the Arceus. And then maybe Lunar. Lunar's all utility, so I have no idea what Lunar would be. It's effectively just it's a different form of vengeance.
Yeah.
But with less effect for a longer period of time on a different spell book.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
That would be, yeah, I don't know. That's what popped into my head. Thank you, Bethesda, for letting me steal the idea from you guys. But
the crazy thing about RuneScape is like we have magic as a skill. And like I don't think magic gets utilized for cool enough stuff. Like they've started doing it with the new Arceus spells, but I think there's just so much more potential there. Following up with that, mine is kind of boring. I would love to see some sort of spell that converts prayer points into food or like healing. I know that they have weapons that will do that. The new jewels in the ring.
Terrace of the Sun, yeah.
So that's essentially where this came from. But like I was at God Wars and I was like, I'm out of brews, but I have so many restores. Why can't we have a spell on the Arceus spellbook that converts prayer points back into food? Essentially like redemption, but you don't have to take the chance. You know, like you could just go with a full inventory of prayer potions and maybe it would do like 5 to 1. So if you had 50 prayer points, you would get 10 health back. Something like that. 2 to 1, 5 to 1, whatever it is, so that you're not like
3 to 1 seems
3 to 1.
fair.
Yeah. So it's not like you're spending, you know, you're not just taking prayer potions everywhere and that's your go-to. Because like you do have to be in the Arceus spellbook. Not a lot of utility there.
That's also in line with the Arceus spellbook where a lot of spells use prayer. Think of Thralls.
Yeah. So that's mine. I like yours a lot. I think there's definitely room for more offensive spells within this game, namely like, you know, like Vengeance, because Vengeance is an old spell. It's just like it's got its niche uses, but I don't think it has enough uses.
You know, and unfortunately, that's where old school RuneScape combat really falters, because a lot of what you can do with magic in other MMOs like this, right? Other MMORPGs like RuneScape is a lot broader and a lot cooler, even for an RPG like Skyrim, right? There's a lot that you could do with magic. Destruction, illusion, restoration. There's heal others. There's heal self. You know, could you imagine if they added, like, they have a heal other spell that's just so underutilized.
Yeah. Because you have to be on Lunars and you have to take health from yourself. And it's like, why can't we just cast a spell and use runes and not have to take health from yourself? Because you still have to bring food at that point. You know, it's like,
I mean, I think
health.
the idea is that it's meant to be the role of the role-playing game. You're the healer, right? So when you go heal things, you need to have food, and people are going to supply you with that food.
Right.
And ideally, you're not going to be attacked very often, so you can get more food from people because there's a tank who's soaking all the damage. Like, that's where RuneScape kind of falters with magic, is because we're so, like, anyone can do anything, and if we change the combat system, we're just going to make a new fucking game. Like, it's really hard to expand magic to what other RPGs are like.
Yeah, I agree.
Not that I don't like our combat system. Put your pitchforks away, people. Like, I like it, you know. I just see the faults with it.
Thank you, Langdoc, for that question. If you guys,
that was a good question. Yeah.
Not a community question, but if you guys do want to answer it, hit us up in Discord. Xpwaste chat would be a perfect place to put that. And tag Langdoc. They're actually in the Discord. Let them know what you think. Thank you again for that question. Guys, I think it is time to send you off. And that comes with a bunch of stuff we like to tell you. So if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. I know that sounds so cliche, but hey, it helps us out. Leave a comment. You can answer the community question on YouTube if you're there. We'll have a pinned comment. Follow us on Spotify. I think you can rate us on Spotify. I've never done that, but if you want to submit a rating, that also helps us out too.
Neither have I.
You can definitely do it on Apple Podcasts, but I think we're kind of mad at Apple Podcasts because they didn't update our episode nearly as fast as we wanted them to last week. So anyway, everything you could ever want is in the description. Patreon, our shop, xpwaste.shop. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled for the next couple weeks. Everything's down there. You can follow me on Twitch, follow Oxie on Twitch, follow us on Twitter. Not on Facebook, though. Instagram. We use Instagram. Anyway, guys, we thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far in the episode, appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.